Hey, everybody. Before we get into the show, just a quick reminder, my comedy special, Thin Lips, is out right now. I'm really happy with all the support and everything that do I feel like I'm reading like from a hostage? I'm really happy with all the support and no, but I just want to make this as short as possible because it gets long and annoying. Keep watching, keep sharing. Thank you everybody that has. Thanks to everybody that's watched it multiple times. You're the best. I love you very much. Let's get into the show.
The Rap Jack Black and Sagdaddy, I'm back at it with a fantastic podcast for your asses. Yapping in a trap like a rescue cat, and the rescued up like they're waiting on the Batman. You tuned into the dude who threw booze back, blacked out, woke up drunk, covered in bruises. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, an odd fellow, the great white chubby, I'm becoming a marshmallow. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, so sit back and relax, cause like a broken arm, I got a cast now. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, you made a good choice, so enjoy, don't be annoyed, now here's my dumb voice.
But yeah, there's this married couple that like lives in the same apartment building but have their own separate apartments, which
That's you know who did that? Who was that painter that painted the melted clocks? You know who I'm talking about? Who? Salvador. Oh, Dali.
That was him? Okay.
Is Salvador Dali an Indian guy? Is he Indian?
He's not. He is definitely stealing Indian valor.
He had a separate house for him and his wife. His wife had a house behind his house.
That's pretty.
And they would like be like, "You want to come over tonight?" I think that's a genius idea. I never want to live with anybody ever.
Yeah, I mean,
I moved in too quick with some girlfriends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you go, fuck, I did it twice, and I'm like, fuck.
Then you're locked in for a year.
Yeah, locked in for a year, or they just have to like you break up, but they're still there until they can find a place.
Yeah,
it's fucking brutal.
Man, I am so lucky. I've never had to deal with that shit. Cause
where does your wife stay?
She stays with me. I let her crash.
You let her crash. Yeah. I let her crash in the bed sometimes.
Yeah,
hilarious, dude. I wanted to talk to you about fucking. I know that I said this before, and we can always find more stuff to talk about.
Okay,
but here at the Sagdaddy the Pod podcast, I try to find the thing that I feel like links me and the person.
Yes.
Right? It's kind of how all conversations go, now that I'm thinking about it. But I feel like the year 2003 to the year 2005, if I met you during that time, we would have been real good friends.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Well, how old are you?
35.
35.
Yeah.
You probably would have hated me. I think all the kids in my high school, like the skaters that were older than me, hated my guts. I think they all thought I was a poser.
Yeah, I tried to skate so bad, but I'm so uncoordinated. And
I know.
So I just filmed myself just getting hit over the head with pots and things, and going down flights of stairs on a sled.
Dude,
and shit.
Exactly. Like my buddy Sam, who worked on your thing, we had a group, a CKYS group that we called. It was such a fucking ripoff, dude. It was called SDA. So it's
what is
three letters.
Sagdaddy Associates.
Sagdaddy and Associates would have been great. No, it stood for stupid dumbasses.
That's so good.
And we would do kind of CKY-esque shit where like we would throw ourselves downstairs and we would make prank phone calls and film it and stuff. And like I would do that thing where I would walk with like a milkshake or something and pretend to fall and spill it everywhere. So were you doing any of that stuff? Because I feel like that's
trip and throw things everywhere was kind of my bread and butter in high school. I'd like find out what room my twin sister like had a class in, and I would walk in with like a huge stack of papers and I'd trip, throw them everywhere. The
teacher, not even bad.
Yeah, well, she would be like, "What are you doing here?" And I'd be like, "I have a message for my sister." And I'd be like, "Mom can't drive you to rehab today, so you got to take the bus." And then I would just like walk out.
Dude.
Which, looking back,
hilarious.
I think that's actually kind of a sweet thing I did for her. You know? It's kind of sweet.
Why?
I
don't know why I said yeah. I said maybe. Yeah, I agreed to it.
I'm really trying to retcon my youth and make me not seem like a bad guy, but
oh yeah, I mean, out of that stuff, all that jackass stuff and all that shit, that's not even the worst shit that I've done. I mean, I'm like an evil guy, I guess. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't think about that at all of like bad stuff that I would do.
Yeah.
Like the all that jackass stuff. Like I never even thought that was hurting anybody or anything.
You're hurting
like
yourself. I feel like you're directing it inwards instead of outwards, which is probably healthier.
Now,
know?
do you miss the times where you can just hurt yourself and bounce back?
Yeah.
Did you do any of that shopping cart stuff?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was too afraid to do that.
I would do that. I mean, obviously the big story from the special, which was when I jumped off the building and broke both my legs. If they told me, they were like, if you ever break anything below the knee ever again, you're gonna be
really
in bad shape. Yeah.
Oh my god. So you're at the top of a parking garage or a building.
It was a church. Yeah.
Church. My buddy did that exact same thing off of a parking garage.
Jumped
off of a and actually yours was more of a. You were just like a look at what I can do. I'm Johnny Knoxville kind of thing.
It was filmed by my friend, and it was with the intention of like cutting it together and with a bunch of other stuff,
right?
For
Making
a stunt reel.
Yeah, exactly. Now that's good because did anybody when you jumped? Was there anyone at any point, even as like a we got to do this, kind of thing? Was there a person that was like, are you trying to kill yourself?
Like before I did it?
Or like after?
Oh, after?
Did a doctor come in and go like, look, I love Camp Kill Yourself as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I like him. I like whatever it is. He comes in, he's wearing a scarf.
The heartogram.
Yeah,
he's got the heartogram tattoo.
Yeah. The doctor comes in. He's got the heartogram tattoo. He's wearing a scarf and a bunch of bracelets.
Yeah,
Chingy Ching's bracelets. Yeah,
he's doing the Chinese freestyle. Look.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the any of the lyrics from that?
I feel like I could. This might be a fun challenge. See how far I could.
I know.
I mean, it was like, who want to see my chopstick kick you in your shit with your little ass dick? Yellow. If you want to see me eat jello or see nothing like you before, I can kick you higher than you could kick me. I can kick you way up into a tree. Who want to taste of my oolong tea?
Dude, yes. That's so fucking funny, man. That dude was awesome. Brandon D. Kamala.
Yeah.
He got out.
He did before like the movies. Yeah,
he didn't even do the movies.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. I think he was like he didn't want people getting rich while he got paid peanuts to kill himself, I think.
Is that what it was?
That's what he said, yeah.
Whoa.
Respect.
I mean, I guess respect, but how much peanuts were they really getting?
They were getting a lot of fucking peanuts.
I could
in terms of peanuts, they were getting quite a few.
Now, when you're filming and you're doing all this stuff, as we all do, I mean, it was such a time, man. I wonder if there are any people that were like our age, like 13 to 16, that have anything like that now, or is it all like do they have the jackass thing that they're trying to do, or is it all like Mr. Beast kind of bullshit?
Yeah, or I think it's like TikTok type stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. I asked my younger cousin, like, do you know? I was like doing research for the special. I was like, do you know like about Jackass? And he was like, yeah, but we kind of had like Impractical Jokers, which I've always felt like is like Jackass for dads, kind of, you know. Right. But it's funny that like even like the young kids were like skipped over. So I don't know.
It is funny though that like our age, not to be like, I'm really trying not to be like when I was your age, blah blah blah. But it is funny that we had these things where we were like, not saying it's good or bad or cool or not, but like hurting each other. We were hurting each other because we were seeing these guys do that. Where like kids now are like, hey, go up to that person and be like, and pretend to fart.
Yeah.
go up to that person with like a fart box and push it.
And it's just never gonna reach the comedic heights of Jackass, because it's just like you're just being annoying, and there's not like a joke behind it. You're just being like fucking annoying.
Well, it's
bitch.
like it's like, yeah, dude. I mean, the hardest I laugh in a movie is seeing fucking Jackass. No one ever laughs in movies, but when you're in that theater,
it's a communal experience.
Yeah, it's killing, and it's so funny. You watch these guys, and you're like, when I was young, there was no. I never thought these guys were drug addicts. I never thought this is going to end poorly.
Yeah.
There was so many people like that. When you're young and you see celebrities, you don't think about like them having real lives like that.
I know, man. Like Ryan Dunn is like maybe the first celebrity death that truly like rocked me to my core.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember being like so fucked up about it because I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
and everybody else.
it's never gonna be the same again.
Oh yeah, and like seeing Bam cry. Oof, yeah. Like seeing those guys when they were like vulnerable. Like I remember there was like a episode where they did an X-ray and you could see Bam's dick, and
yeah,
I was
I
like,
remember that.
whoa. I was like, this is cool. Like you could, I don't know why I thought it was cool, but I was like, this is cool. I've had a lot of experiences with Bam Margera, to be honest, and they've all been kind of bad in a way.
I gotta hear about this. That's amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I was younger, there was a tour called the Viva La Bam Tour.
God, how did I not know about this?
Viva La Bam Tour, and it was obviously him and Skindred. Do you know Skindred?
No.
They're like a reggae metal band,
Awesome.
and they are awesome. And it was like that, and I was really young, and we snuck into like the VIP area. And we got to meet like Rab himself and like Rake Yan and all those guys. And I was like, this is fucking cool. But we were like 13 years old. These guys are like late 20 drug addicts.
Yeah.
You know, we're not supposed to be there. And Bam's running all over the place because he's like, you know, he's running the show, I guess. So he's like, whatever. And I forgot what happened, but I remember there was a little girl behind us. Now, this is going to be slander to Bam, so I'm not saying it's true. I don't know if this is true. You ever find yourself just getting into Trump, like doing Trump voice?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if this is true, but I remember this little girl, she like waited so long, and then she walked up to Bam and she had a photo of him, and she was like, "Can you sign this?" And he just fucking like ran by her. I remember it being like really obvious that he was like, fuck this, like a dick about it. But I could be making that up. Then here's the big one. Here's
Okay.
the big experience. I've told this story on the podcast, though. Did I tell the Bam Margera story on the podcast? Oh, it's such a long story, but I'll shorten it.
Yeah, give me the cliff notes.
Here's the cliff notes. I wanted Bam to do my podcast long ago, my other podcast. He was doing a show at the West Side Comedy Club.
I remember. Yes. Okay.
Did you hear about this, where he flipped out at West Side Comedy Club?
Okay. I remember seeing you in the background of like Instagram story or some shit.
I was there.
Yes. Okay.
I
go
was
ahead.
there.
I'm sorry.
So so much. I had to deal with his manager, who every time I called him or he called me, there was ruckus going on in the background, and like him going like, huh? Like not wanting to talk to me at all. And I'm like, so can Bam come do my podcast? And he's like, what? You hear a cat meowing, you know, trash cans are flying everywhere. And he's like, yeah, fine. Meet us at West Side Comedy Club and blah, 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 blah. So I meet them. I go into the room. I'm waiting. I put all my little podcast stuff down. Bam comes in. Like an hour early or 2 hours early, and just starts flipping out because he was hammered, right? And he's like flipping out, and because he was like, "Where's everybody? What the fuck?" And they're like, "You're 2 hours before the show," you know. And he's like, "I want to go home now," you know, doing that spot on Bam Margera impression, by the way. I want to go home now. And he was just flipping out and like throwing shit around and all that stuff. And he came with like an entourage of Tekashi 6ix9s. Like they were all like rainbow hair, you know. And he's fucking thrashing, and his manager's like, Bam, it's 2 hours before the fucking thing. And he just punches his manager in the face.
Oh my
Which
God.
I saw. I was right there. I think it's on that tape, that TMZ tape. I saw it. He was like, boom. That was the guy I was talking to. And I was like, oh, God. And then he goes upstairs and everything is really peaceful. And then apparently he starts fighting people up there. And, you know, it's a longer story, which I've told many times, and I can already feel myself having no passion for it now. But I never thought that guy would be in my life as much as
you
that
got to
was.
witness one of his rock bottoms. I was going to call it his rock bottom,
Right.
but he's had about 12 at this point.
Good for him, though. How many rock bottoms can you have? Some people
Yeah.
don't even get one.
He's good at it. I'll give him that. He's good at hitting rock bottom.
Do you drink or anything like that?
Yeah, here and there, but like I'm not. I used to like get hammered like in school when I was like in high school
really?
and stuff. Yeah, I would like I'd like go to McDonald's before school, get like a giant Coke, dump out like a third of it, fill the rest with like
One of those like Cokes where it's like it goes like this.
just like a basically a liter of soda and just be drinking in school, or just like go in my car before school with my one buddy and just like
Hell yeah.
pound Jägermeister. And one time I was sitting in math class and I was just like so hammered, I was like, I'm gonna puke in 10 seconds. So I opened my backpack and I like vomited into my backpack.
My God.
But I did it the smart way, which was I let it fill up in my mouth and then I spit it into the bag so it didn't make like a sound. You know? And
How do you even think of that? None of this is the smart way, by the way. But how do you think about that?
like I knew if I tried to get up and go to the bathroom, I was too drunk. I would have like pinballed it into the desks and
Yes.
shit, and
Oh
I wouldn't
my
have like made it
God.
in time. I would have just puked in the hallway.
Did
so I was
you still drink in school after that?
like, that's a great question. I think a couple times. Yeah, actually, I don't think that deterred me.
That actually was that ruled.
yeah,
That was fun.
that was.
I never drank before high school. I did one time. I used to drink before college, like community college, which is still kind of high school. Like it's not college. You're not. It's not like I'm not fucking Van Wilder.
yeah,
I'm like in a parking lot in a community college area drinking, and I was like, I'm gonna drink before a acting class today.
nice.
Maybe I can get somewhere. You know what I mean? Maybe I can like, whatever that is. Have a what's that called?
Method acting.
Kind of like like really like break boundaries with
Yeah,
my
yeah.
acting. So I bought a 6-pack of rum and Cokes. They were putting them in Coke cans,
Oh,
right? So they were
This-
selling it as rum and Cokes.
Uh huh.
And instead of like the way I should have done, which is just buy, if I want a rum and Coke, I should have bought like a fucking thing of Jack Daniels and got a can of Coke and
It's
just
probably cheaper, I bet too.
yeah, this was like $18. It was a 6-pack, mostly Coke. So I was trying to drink it to get fucking hammered, and I'm filling up on soda, and I'm not drunk at all. I'm like a little buzz, which is the worst when you're so like you got all that Coke in you and everything.
Oh god.
Yeah, so and it wasn't great. But I never did any of that in high school.
And how was your performance that day?
I don't think I got called up.
Man, all that for nothing.
All that for nothing. I go, oh wait, it's not today. That's crazy. You'd get fucking hammered before high school.
Yeah, it was just like it was so boring that I was like, what? How far can I push it today just to entertain myself?
Yeah.
You know?
Did you do any other things like I took cough medicine in high school a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Were into that?
robo-tripped?
Oh, I robo-tripped
I
hard.
only did that like a couple times, but I don't think I ever drank enough to have like a truly psychedelic experience. But so when I broke my legs, they gave me these painkillers called Lortabs, which are some sort of opiate. And at a certain point, my parents like took them away and like
yeah.
didn't because they didn't want me to get hooked. And
Yeah.
I like found them like several months later in like some cabinet, and I took like 3 before choir class one day.
Jesus.
And
Did you say 3 or 30?
3, no,
Oh.
yeah, 30. I think would have
I was
put
like,
me into an early grade.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah.
But I took 3, and it was like the choir was so beautiful that day. They were really
Dude,
the
how
altos,
awesome
the
is
sopranos.
drugs,
They
man?
were, yeah. And
How
I
awesome is that?
went up to my teacher after class, and I was like, Mr. P, I just want to say I'm really excited for the spring concert coming up. Oh, I didn't mean it at all, but I just was.
Of course.
Yeah.
Dude, I am the best person when I'm on like shit like that. Like if I take any kind of drugs, which I don't do anymore, but like if I do anything like that, I'm like, I'll text everybody. You know, you mean so much to me, Nicole. You work so fucking hard for me. I love you. Blah blah blah. You know, I'll text everybody. That's why when I'm sober now, I mean, I still smoke weed, but you know, I don't tell anybody how I feel.
Yeah,
Not one
keep your
person.
cards close to your chest. I feel like.
Now, after you jumped off the church and you broke your legs,
Yeah.
did that scare you? Were you like, oh, I'm like terrified now?
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna walk again. And
Holy shit.
and then the EMTs showed up, and I was like, will I ever walk again? And the guy went, And that was the first thing he said. I was like, oh, no, that's not good. And he went, I would say yes. But it did not sound convincing at all.
I wonder if they can get in trouble for saying something like that. Like, I wonder if it's kind of like I'm not going to say anything because this could be a legal thing.
Yeah, he could
you
sue
could now
me
sue me for being like, he said, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I thought yes. Wow, yeah, I'd be fucking terrified. And how long was your healing process?
I was in cast for like 16 weeks, which was, and then like
Jesus.
physical therapy after that. So
Oh my fucking
it was
God.
pretty fucking brutal.
Did you do any more stunts after that? Or was that the end of your Hi, I'm Dan and you're watching me jump off a fucking thing.
Yeah. I kind of retired after that. I think just because. No, actually, that's not true. I did some much lower stakes stunts after that involved like going down like ramps on like office chairs and things like that. Stuff that like wouldn't have paralyzed me.
Yeah, of course.
But
I never did any of that stuff. I was such a fucking chicken with I wouldn't even do the shopping cart thing. I was like, I'll do prank phone calls and stuff, but I'm not hurting myself.
do you remember any of the prank phone calls that you did?
Boy, do I. There was one specific one where we didn't go to school the next day because I thought it would be funny. Now, what is the statute of limitations on this?
You're good.
Was this is all alleged.
Okay.
I feel like in a
you're
court
doing a bit.
I feel like I love people that have no idea about like the law at all, and they're like, this is all alleged, and then you watch it in court and the judge is like, it's so obvious that you're serious, and you're like, but I said it's alleged. I said it was a bit.
Yeah. This is alleged, but allegedly this knife has my DNA on it, and
yeah. I called we were doing prank phone calls and I was never really good at those either. You know what? I shouldn't have been doing any of this stuff. I wasn't good at it. I wasn't good at skateboarding. I wasn't good at throwing myself into bushes or anything like that. But they were like, okay, Brendan, it's your turn. And so I just called my middle school and I went, I'm going to bring a bomb into school tomorrow. And they were like, what? And I went, bye, click. And then we all got a letter saying school is canceled tomorrow because they have to do an investigation. So and I don't know what ever happened with that.
oh
So,
my god!
I don't know.
You star 6'7", the number clear.
Yeah.
Obviously,
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, it would have been so easy to catch me that maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe they were like, we have to close tomorrow anyway because my school had asbestos.
Oh,
My school had asbestos, and we didn't go to school for a couple of days. Maybe they co-aligned, and then, and this is a good full circle thing. They joked about that on Saturday Night Live.
whoa!
They made a joke about Syosset, New York, where I'm from, having asbestos in the schools
That's
that week.
wild.
I remember that.
So you fucking made it, dude.
That's one of my credits. Yeah.
That's it. I'll make sure you get on the IMDb page for that episode.
I feel like you got some good prank calls in you. Now, I don't know if that's true, but you got that personality.
I did. I had a few. I mean, like looking back, they were not like nuanced or anything.
Yeah, you're just cursing at people.
Yeah, you were just like, yeah. You call up a podiatrist's office and be like, "Suck my dick." It's like,
they're like, "Oh
everyone
my god!"
But I had one friend who was like, he would always brag about how good he was at prank calls, and he was just like, yo, I do the best prank calls, like nobody can touch me. And put a number in the phone and like hit dial, and we give him the phone and he just goes, hi, I'm calling from Monsters University, and he hangs up, and we're like, we're on the phone for 2 seconds, dude.
He goes, what about that, you guys? I would have called him Wazowski until he killed himself. And I'm like, nice call, Wazowski. Fucking idiot.
But I'm trying to remember any specific ones. I think, yeah, the best ones were like when you would really keep someone on the phone for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
Oh
like man, I have one where I did it for days. I had this guy on the line for days because and I felt bad afterwards. And it honestly it wasn't even a prank call. Like it wasn't like I was with my friends making a prank call. It was like he called me. It was a wrong number. I remember this so like it was yesterday. I'm in school. I'm on the bus. I get a call on my little flip phone of a guy. He's an older guy, and he's like, "I'm looking to. Is this? He thought I was some sort of like, not a pawn shop, but like a place where you take like vases and shit, and like a place like what
Antique store?
An antique store.
Yeah,
Yes, an antique store. Antiquing. Speaking of,
Oh yes.
you ever do that? You ever do an antique? to
Never
somebody?
antiqued anyone.
Feels harsh.
Yeah.
Throw fucking flour on them and then smack them.
Yeah, we would like if someone fell asleep though, we would try to like create like a fort around them with like empty beer cans and stuff. So when they woke up,
That's as most of a prank as you got
yeah.
to.
I never like pissed on anyone while they were sleeping or anything like that.
I did.
You did.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I regret it. But so this guy calls me. He thinks I'm an antique store. He's looking for a specific vase. And instead of just saying like, you have the wrong number, I just went along with it. And I was like, oh yeah, we got that. Well, yeah, whatever. Because I was like, I can't wait to tell my friends that some fucking chump called me and blah, blah, blah. But I never ended up telling my friends. I just talked to this guy. I told him we got it. He was like, can I come down? I'm like, well, we might be off, da-da-da. And I just kind of like kept him on the line. It was really weird. And then like a day went by and he tried to check in and I was like, we don't know yet. I'll call you tomorrow. And at that point I was like, what am I doing? And then I that night on the middle night of the 3 days, I looked up antique stores in his area because I was feeling bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was like old. He was like, I really want to get rid of my fucking thing. And I'm like, yeah, making fun of him to myself like an asshole. And then I just was like, what am I doing? I looked up antique stores in his area and I went, you know what? I called him and I went, look, we actually, I made a mistake. We don't have what you're looking for, but here's a couple of antique stores that I know of. Maybe they can help you. And then he went, well, thank you. Very helpful. And he hung up and I hung up. We never spoke to each other again. And that's just something I did.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That is very weird.
That's a weird thing. I'm like, that's how bad at prank phone calls I am.
Yeah. I
just talked to an old man. I had a grandpa I had like a friend. I had a business partner for 3 days.
Did you learn anything more about him or was it all all business?
No, we got personal.
Yeah.
He was telling me about his wife and everything. He was telling me a little bit about his life. I don't really remember that, but I remember there's a reason I felt bad.
I think like he probably deep down just wanted someone to talk to and you gave him that, or as opposed to like these businesses would have probably shoot him off the phone really quick.
You know what? And that is exactly every time I get on the phone with an old person, that's what I think. Every time my mom calls me, I just go, she just wants to talk.
Yeah.
Are you both your parents around?
Yeah, they are.
Is it like that? Is it like,
oh my God. My mom can string, like if you went to the grocery store and had the most mundane interaction, like so mundane you wouldn't tell your friend about it, my mom will turn that into a 20-minute story. Just like someone you've never met in your entire life.
Right.
Oh, you know who I ran into at Wegmans? It was, did you ever meet this person? No. Well, she's this person's friend. And it's like, Jesus
oh my God,
Christ.
classic mom. My mom's a classic mom in the way where she does that thing where she'll be like, do you remember the kid who killed himself? Like out of the blue, and you're like, yeah. And you go, I ran into his mother. She's sad. And you're like, oh God. She's still sad. And you're like, oh my God. Or like, hey, do you remember that really nice person who used to work at the flower store? And you go, yeah. You go, he killed himself. And you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, lady.
Yeah,
she's just a barrel of bad news.
Yeah.
Is it barrel or bearer?
I believe it's bear, but I like barrel. That's kind of
that seems worse.
Yeah,
What would you rather
reach in and grab something.
I feel like a barrel of bad news. There's more bad news.
Yeah,
Nicole's on Omegle right now. She's chatting with
No,
people.
that's the episode title is Barrel of Bad
Barrel
News.
of bad news. Beautiful.
So where are you from? Can I guess?
You can guess. Yeah,
You definitely got like a Jersey, but also maybe a Midwest vibe.
you kind of smack dab in the middle. So Buffalo, New York.
You're from Buffalo?
Yeah.
Whoa. You're from Buffalo? I thought you were from Binghamton. Whoa. Oh my God.
I'm familiar.
Now what's that? What was that like? Because there's nothing there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like any other Midwestern city where, you got the Bills, you got the Sabres, and
It's all sports.
you've got beer and you got chicken wings, and that's like
That sounds fucking
that's it.
sick, actually.
it was not a bad place to grow
Were
up.
you bored growing up?
Oh yeah, big time. Why we would just drive around doing dumb
Yeah.
shit, just finding an empty parking lot that we could
Hang out in.
yeah
Yeah, and like listen to music and all
smoke
this
a black
shit.
and mild, and yeah.
Right. You wouldn't smoke weed? Did you guys smoke weed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I,
Did you ever...
I meant a black and mild full of weed. Sorry, I should have been.
Did you ever hit mailboxes and stuff?
Yeah, we would take like for sale sign, like anytime we drive by like a for sale sign, it's like that thing's coming out and it's going on a house halfway down the block.
I never even thought about doing that. If we took a sign, that sign is now in the garage wherever we hung out for years.
Yeah,
my buddy had like stop signs, he had yield signs for no fucking point. Except to maybe cut yourself if you're like trying to move shit around.
yeah, they're sharp.
They're so fucking sharp.
Yeah,
but we used it mailboxes all the time. We would one thing I was good at was another thing we saw in CKY and Jackass was jumping out of a moving car onto grass.
oh yeah,
I was very good at jumping out and literally jumping out of cars. I'd be like, yo, stop, go like 3 miles an hour. And I would just roll out and it would make everybody laugh. And I wouldn't even be in that much pain, but you're in pain because of what you just did. But also like the surprise from it is scary because you don't expect it to be like, yeah, it's an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
I'm in pain more when I get scared when someone does something. Like if you just went like that to me, I'd be like, but if I wasn't looking and you went like that, I'd be like, ow. But
the element of surprise, yeah, definitely.
I was very good at jumping
amplifies
out of cars. Now, when you guys did stunts and all this stuff,
Yeah.
we were all just trying to be Jackass.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a group, like a name for your group?
We didn't have a name. It was really just me and Trevor Smith. So Trevor was my
Shout out Trevor.
shout out to Trevor.
Trevor Smith.
Yeah. He and I were kind of the Bam and Dun of our high school. And
What's that line you say in your senior special that killed me? You're like, I'm the Bear Margera of my group.
oh yeah,
Or something
I'm
like
the
that.
chair of my friend group. Oh, good.
Oh yeah, would you guys sit around? I remember we were such gay little kids sitting around being like, and who are you? And I'd be like, I'm Rab himself.
It's like
Oh my God, it's so fucking lame.
it's like little girls pretending to be like Sex in the City or whatever.
Yeah. I'm Samantha.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would do that. That consumed our lives for years, playing Tony Hawk,
Oh my
drinking
God.
Snapple.
I still play the Tony Hawk games.
Do you?
like,
Which one's your favorite
of all time? I mean,
of all time?
3 is probably the one that
3.
3, the PS2 version,
Yeah.
because there was a 3 for the PS1 that's not as good. Of all time, yeah, it might be. I might have to go 3.
Was that the one with 96 Quite Bitter Beings?
Oh yes,
That was the one that first had the 96 Quite Bitter Beings. Oh yeah. I mean, it was like a whirlwind of that and Sleepaway Camp. It was like, I mean, do you miss it? I miss it.
I miss it like crazy. Honestly,
I miss that.
I've never been more free than I was in
Yeah.
those.
I bet I
those
can
years.
guess your favorite weather.
My favorite weather.
Fall.
You're absolutely right.
How
did you know?
I know. Because I feel a kinship to you.
I'm a fall guy.
I
yeah.
feel like we would have been friends in this era of. I love fall. I love dusk.
Oof.
I love dusk so much. I might even name my child Dusk.
Dusk Sagalow.
Dusk Sagalow. Isn't that good?
That's really good.
Yeah. Don't.
I'm not gonna.
You don't fucking take that. Do you want kids?
Well, it's an interesting question because my wife got the baby fever real bad right now. And
Oh, really?
So this is weird. So I am a twin. I have a twin sister, and my wife is a triplet.
Whoa.
So I'm worried that if we do,
Would you guys meet in a forum or something?
yeah,
How'd you
met
meet?
met at a convention for multiples, but
Yeah, you go, okay, everybody, we're gonna separate you guys, and you try to find the right person.
yeah, it's just like scary to me that like the odds of us having like 4 kids right off the bat is like sky high.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and that would just ruin my life.
I wish you could have like certain like I wish abortions could get very more specific.
Yeah,
You go, you have twins, and you get rid of one.
I don't know. They must do that, right?
There must be a way, but I don't
also,
think so
what if
because
you
I
pick
think
the
it's
wrong?
it's all together, and if you pick the wrong, if you pick the wrong one, what if you pick the and you're stuck with the evil one,
Yeah,
an evil twin without the other twin?
yeah. I'm worried. I'm gonna pick the wrong one. I'm not good at
Yeah, but
making picks like that.
but I think you're doing all right. You could. I think you can handle 4 children.
4 children. Yeah. So if we gotta name them. Let's see. I mean, Bam is a great name for.
Name them all. Name Bam, Done, fucking
Deco,
Johnny
Deco
Knoxville.
Licata. Yeah, Deco's a great name.
Deco is a great name.
Mm.
I remember even explaining. Yeah, I was explaining to my girlfriend on the train about all this stuff. I'm like, so Johnny Knoxville and Wee Man and all that. They're from a thing called Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
So then they mix with Bam and CKY, and you got. I even made her answer. I go, and those two created anyone? She went Jackass. I went Jackass.
Yeah.
Good.
These are the things they should be teaching in our schools. It's really sad. I'd love to teach like a college class about this shit. I mean, being a teacher goes against everything I believe in, but
really,
yes, I would love to just teach a college course or some shit.
Wouldn't you just love to teach a course on the thing that you know about?
Yeah,
I feel like I could teach a whole class on Eminem or
Yeah.
something. Like, I really feel like I could do all of that stuff.
I think like at some point, and maybe another 20 years, that stuff will be like, we'll be far enough past that where they probably will teach that shit in colleges,
Probably not. I think there'll never be a boat for me. I don't think I'll ever be. I think I was a mistake. Like, not a real. I don't think my parents made a mistake. I think they made a mistake. I don't think I was an accident. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Like, I'm just like,
and do you think,
shouldn't have been.
Do you think that's because you're a product of your environment, or you think you were born wrong?
No way. I don't think I was born in the wrong era. I was born in the wrong era. I should have been a hippie. No, I just I don't think I bring anything to the world. But this isn't about me.
That's not true, dude. You bring joy to millions of people.
I wish millions. I might just start doing some Jackass stuff on our Patreon. How about that?
I mean, have listeners submit theirs and stuff. I think
that would be crazy.
I mean, if they join a certain, maybe that's how you do it. If you join a certain level of Patreon, you can submit theirs, and you have.
That's
to
not a bad idea. That's like something Legion of Skanks would do. But that really is not a bad idea. It's so funny that like back then they had to put disclaimers before Jackass to be like, do not do this. But now everyone, myself included, is so content hungry that we're like, send us your best you doing this.
Please. And don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to
yeah. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends everything, blah, blah, blah. Just go around. Well, there is kind of that shit. Like, people are walking around. My TikTok, I always see kids pranking people, like teenagers going to Walmart and like spilling water on people and then being like looking the other way. And so there is kind of that.
Yeah.
That whole thing, or like someone going to like Compton wearing all fucking blooded out,
nerd
like
okay,
or nerd going there and being like, "What's up, you guys?"
Okay.
That's
I like
good
that.
though.
I
do
that
like that. Send us your best of that. Go to your nearest hood, dress up as like a nerd, and just try to like fuck with these guys. see what happens.
I mean, people have died doing a couple. I think there's been a couple like headshots from
somebody's been, of course, and I think you do maybe not deserve to get shot, but it should definitely be known. I mean, the whole Jackass thing definitely created like the scariest teenager, I think, of that time. If I was, because I'm scared of teenagers now.
Yeah,
I don't want to go near them. I don't like when they're around. I don't like when they come into subway cars or buses. So during that time, when everybody was trying to emulate those guys, I bet it was like some of the scariest teenagers just fucking with people.
That time in history was like, new metal and like Jackass, Tom Green. Yeah. South Park had just come out, right?
Oh, yeah. Tom Green, definitely. I mean, what a good time.
That was the best.
I do think about it a lot, and I go, man, I really wish I could go back there to just like not knowing how to skateboard until 6 o'clock, and then like playing video games, having fun.
We could go back to that.
You know,
if we give
it's not
up,
that far off from what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I'm always playing video games.
I'm trying to get everyone I know to just like stop doing comedy and just like we all just go in on a fucking house in the middle of nowhere and just act like kids.
Guys, we all just go in on a house in the middle of nowhere. No, that'd be great. Do you want so your wife is baby hungry?
Yeah,
I guess is the word you call it.
Yeah, baby horny or hungry or whatever. Horngry.
And what about you? This is about you.
Okay, they're asking me.
Yeah. And we can cut anything.
I could go either way, to be honest with you. If she said to me tomorrow, like, nah, actually, fuck that. I don't want any kids. I'd be like, great, but you know, I think I'd be a fun dad. I don't know if I'd be a good dad necessarily, but I'd definitely be fun.
What makes you think you wouldn't be a good dad?
I mean, I probably would be okay. I don't think I'd be bad. I don't think I'd be like amazing. I'd be okay at worst.
What's things that you're like, oh, but I'm giving that up if I have kids? Like, what do you have that you're like, I can't do this if I have kids? Like, I love going on walks where I smoke blunts. That's my favorite
Blunt
thing.
Walks.
I love it. Like, after this, we're doing 4 episodes today. I'm going to go, once everything's clear and done, I'm going to go for a blunt walk and I'm just going to vibe. Can't do that with a kid.
Yeah, you can't be high and have a kid and
yeah. Or you can be, but you can't like smoke in front of them or anything like that.
You can for the first like 4 years of their life, I feel like, because they're not gonna remember any of that shit. So it's like
I didn't think 4 years is crazy, dude.
That's like when my memory kicks in. Like my earliest memories are like 4. So like
your earliest memories, you don't even have diapers anymore. That's hilarious.
What's your
my earliest memory is sneaking out of my crib late at night. I got to a point where I could stand on the crib and I could sneak over, like I could lift myself over and I would just kind of like go over the wall and then like land on the ground. And I probably landed a couple times on my head on the old noggin. And then I would go down my hallway, down the stairs to where my parents were watching TV, and I would sit at the top of the TV, like stairs, and I would watch them watching TV. And my mom would go, she'd like hear me or something. I'd literally be like sitting there, and she'd be like, "Hello?" Like my mom would do that. She would go, "Excuse me." Like who else can it be?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my earliest memory. What about you?
That's kind of creepy, man.
Going to college?
Yeah.
My Your earliest memory is you jumping off of that church?
Yeah. Probably when my little sister was born, which I was like 4, almost 5.
Whoa.
I remember waking up, calling for my mom, my grandma coming in, and she said, "The baby woke up in mommy's tummy." And I was just like, all right.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Do you still have that video of you jumping off the church?
I do not.
That would have been great for the spec.
I know. That was what I was going to do, is like force myself to watch it for the first time. But so what happened was the cops took it because I was technically trespassing.
They took it? What was it? It was a cassette?
It was like a high 8.
Oh, like a DV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took the whole camera. And then in the emergency room, he forced my mom to watch it and said, like, maybe if he had been a little more attentive, this wouldn't have happened. And my mom like had a full breakdown after watching, because it was gnarly. It's like you see me falling 25 feet, you see my legs shattering. So she was like, "This." I feel like
I'm gonna puke.
Yeah, no, I do get the heebie-jeebies telling it sometimes because I can.
God,
I just like feel my body fall.
The building?
It's like 20, 25 feet. So like,
holy shit.
Yeah, it was pretty tall. But
God.
he like forced my mom to watch it, and she was like, this tape should not exist. Like, she forced my dad to destroy it, and my dad was like, maybe he'll want to like view this later on in his life, like through a different lens. Like, maybe we should just like set it aside. And she was like, no, just destroy it. And there was other good shit on there too, which is such a bummer.
That
it was like
sucks.
all my best stuff, which would have been great for B-roll for the special. But
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, these fucking parents, man.
Yeah, parents.
That
my mom
sucks ass.
Such a dumb bitch. She ruined my special. I did force her to be. I did force her to be in it though. She's like the head of the PTA. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. So.
What do you mean you forced her to be in the video?
Or to be in my special. She like she plays the head of the PTA, which I just needed to avoid paying another person.
That was your mom?
That was my mom. Yeah.
Who made that like announcement?
Oh no, so that's the principal at the beginning, but then I was like I just am like running the Chuck Norris joke by her and just I didn't tell her what I was going to say, but I laid some pretty nasty visuals on her and, in that moment. And she's so desensitized from being my mom for 35 years that she played it really well. I'll give her that.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, that's what I liked about your special, dude. It was like, it's like different, you know? It's like, it's so satirized, I guess not satirized, like the saturation of comedy is, it's a lot. And I love watching, like, my favorite thing is being on YouTube and just finding somebody who I have, like, I know of you, like, but there's people in, like, fucking Utah that are putting out, like, 45-minute specials that, I love watching those. I'm like, yes, someone who has, like, it's been out for a year and has 38 views. I'm like, that's so fucking, I love that. It's so juicy. But it all kind of just blends into everybody's got the same structure where I'm like, yours was so different. And like, what happened to that? What happened to like the just kind of, you know, doing something different? I don't know. I'm starting to sound like an ass.
I will say the biggest hurdle was for the listeners that don't know, I filmed it at my high school for an audience of 15-year-old boys. Was the concept of my special, but
dude,
which I did nuke my savings making it because, like, I mean, you self-finance your special as well, and you know how fucking expensive it is.
Right?
It's like,
how much did the school charge you?
Dude, it is shocking how low it is to rent out a school for 2 days. It's like it was like so low. I think it was $1,200 to rent it out for 2 days. $1,200 for 2 days.
$1,200 to rent out just the theater, the whole school.
They let us use the whole school.
Was it because you went there? Did they know you?
It was a new principal, thankfully, because if it had been the same principal that as when I went there, it'd have been like absolutely
no fucking way.
But we should just be renting out schools all the time.
What the fuck? Did you ever like get suspended or expelled or anything like that?
Yeah,
not expelled, obviously, but suspended. Like, for what? I got suspended a whole ton.
Yeah, the first time was on April Fool's Day, my freshman year, when I put shaving cream on my homeroom teacher's chair and she sat in it, and it was still like the hardest I've laughed because it was tense because like she stepped out of the room, everyone saw me cover the chair in shaving cream, and everyone's just waiting, and she's back in the room, she's walking past the chair. And she like pulls it out finally. She goes to sit down. She kind of like stops halfway, looks to the left, looks to the right. I have no idea. But she sits down and everyone just buries their head and is like silently shaking with laughter. And then finally, after like 20 seconds, she's like, "Oh, wait a second. What is this? Who is responsible for this?" And I was like, I stood up. I was like,
"You did?"
Yeah, I was like, "April Fools." And then she was like, "I have a conference today," and she starts freaking out. And she like
her telling you what she's got to do today for some reason.
Like, I have a conference. I was like, okay.
She goes, "I have another job interview."
Yeah. But she like grabs me by the arm and takes me to the office, and she just pointed at her butt covered in shaving cream, and she goes, "Look what he did!" And I was like, I didn't
Yeah,
like.
there's
it makes it
there's
seem like-
nuance to this.
yeah, I was like, whoa, I didn't like run up to her and just like rub her ass.
smack her ass with it, dude.
But yeah, I got suspended.
That was the first time you got suspended. How long?
Yeah.
How long you get?
5 days out of school.
You got 5 days for that.
out of school too.
Out of school.
which was better, dude. Out of school was
suspension
awesome
rules. Out of school suspension rules.
because you just
That's
play-
crazy.
You don't have to go to school and you can play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater all
Yeah.
day.
Did they send tutor?
Definitely not doing that again. Yeah, I had to go. I did have to meet with
They
a
sent
tutor.
tutors?
They didn't send me to the house. I had to go to a library like a block away from my house. And
So
like,
that's not. So you're still going to like a school of some
Yeah.
sorts.
yeah,
I guess libraries, whatever. I don't know why I'm trying to drill holes in their out of school suspension fucking thing. But that does suck. That like, what if your parents worked? Who's gonna drive you to the fucking library? They really punish the parents
it's true
for all
yeah.
this stuff.
They suffer for their children's sins. It's not. It ain't right.
5 days out of school is crazy. I got 5 days out of school for being in a fight with somebody. Like
Oh, shit.
that's out of school 5 days.
Yeah, that's
I got,
automatic.
I got
5 days.
6 weeks once
6 weeks.
for bringing a knife to school.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, because I'm really passionate about hip hop music. So I brought out I brought a fucking knife to school,
You brought a shank. Damn.
and I was just I was just like
what
carrying
kind of
around.
knife?
It was like a fucking. I might have one around here. It's like just a regular knife. Like it was just a regular knife, but then they did that thing where they put the knife on the palm, and they're like, if it goes over the palm, it's like can't. And it went like beep. It was like a little over the fucking palm. I don't
Damn.
think you'd have a knife in school at all, but they were like, this could be. I think if it goes over the palm, you can get expelled, but if it's not, you get suspended or some shit like that.
Weird. It's like
Depending on the palm too.
It was like the thing with like girls' skirts, right? Where I was like, if it goes past the
yeah, but everybody's different.
yeah.
What if your legs are longer?
Yeah. Also, everyone's palms are different size. We were talking.
That's what I'm saying.
Shaquille O'Neal's palm or like fucking Vern Troyer's palm. Okay.
Yeah. If it was Vern Troyer's palm, I'd be expelled. Yeah. So I got 6 weeks for that. I got a day and a half or something for graffiti in the bathroom.
Nice.
I was doing. So they had banned the Iron Cross in my middle school.
Okay.
They said nobody can wear it. Nobody can. It's a fucking Nazi thing. Blah 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 blah. But to me, it was independent trucks. You know what I mean? It was a skateboard company,
Yeah.
and I had an awesome sweatshirt where it was like a zip up. I had some awesome skateboarding zip ups. I had an independent one where it was the Iron Cross, and I had a what was that company that was like the fire guy and the ice guy?
Spitfire?
Spitfire, and I had
Yeah.
a Spitfire one that was a zip up that was different. Guys. Very cool. But anyway, so I took this as a personal attack, and I drew a giant Iron Cross in the bathroom, and I got fucking suspended. That was my first suspension ever.
That's bullshit, man.
Such bullshit.
You were right to call in a bomb threat. Honestly, that was bullshit.
I think it was the same school too. That was a fucking mess. Any other suspensions from you?
There was one time. I'm trying to remember what else I did. Yeah, making prank calls with school phones and calling teachers' classrooms. That was
Really?
just like a day.
Doing what? Saying what?
I don't even remember. Yeah, there was. It was very easy to call teachers' phones.
Yeah.
So I got a day for that. There was one time the choir teacher left her grade book
Yeah.
on the piano. So like my friend and I were like going through and just changing our grades to A pluses.
That's like something that would happen in Growing Pains.
Also, like, how do you grade as a choir teacher? Like, what?
Yeah, you go.
How are you
You're sounding
factor-
pretty D right now.
Yeah.
You're sounding pretty C minus right now. You go, it's my voice. I don't know what else to do
Yeah.
about
it's
my
not-
voice.
It seems subjective to me.
Yeah, go. Some people like this. Yeah, grading any kind of like art kind of thing is like such bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I did so well. Those classes, art classes, are for kids like us that aren't good at it. Were you good at like math or science or anything like that?
Not really. I think I was good until like 7th grade, and then as soon as I hit 7th grade, I just became dumb. I either became dumb or it like
Well, what year
caught
is
up
that?
to me.
7th grade was what, 2002 maybe?
2000. Well, yeah. So 9/11 happened.
2001.
2001 to 2002.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Wow.
9/11 was 7th grade.
Great
for me.
year.
Great.
That was early 2000s. I didn't think it was going to get any better than. I actually never thought it would get past 2004 or 5.
like
when
the
it-
world.
Yeah, the world. I just didn't see a future besides that.
Yeah.
And then here comes 2006 shaking its fucking ass.
Yeah. 06 was okay. Yeah. 06, 07 was like kind of the end of the golden age, though.
Yeah, now it's just been fucking hell.
Yeah.
When'd you grow your first mustache?
Well, I had like the sideburns when I was in high school.
The sideburns
And
are
then-
now. Do you? And please, cut my throat if this is a insulting question.
No,
here.
not at all. You
Do
can.
you color those sideburns?
No, I don't. I'm going because the top of my head is like. I think it's just because it's shorter. I think if I grew it out, it would be darker.
Yeah.
But no, I'm actually starting to go a little gray.
Oh,
Like,
are you
I'm plucking grays every
in the
damn day.
sideburns?
Sideburns, stash all over the place.
Whoa, it's a good look. Nobody else has got that look.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta look. You gotta look a little DTD in this business in order to stand out.
Where'd you get
Which-
that shirt?
eBay. Which, by the way, yeah, man, I think
You really
a
got
lot of you fucking Mencia haters out there. You,
speak on it.
I just want to say, until you come up with something as iconic and culturally significant as DTD, shut your bitch mouth. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
and that's coming straight from the horse's mouth.
And that's on God.
And that's on God.
Also, I feel like, there's this debate. It's like, can you say the R word? You shouldn't say the R word.
Here we
Can we meet in the middle at DTD, please? Can we just compromise with that?
You know how that's actually what we should do. You know how people are like on TikTok and Instagram, they like try to avoid things by saying like unalive or whatever.
Yes.
DTD.
It communicates exactly what you need it to.
I'll tell you what. Carlos gets a lot of shit for stealing stuff,
Mhm.
but does that outweigh the creation? He created
DTD.
DTD,
Yeah.
which is a cultural
Phenomenon. I think it gets a pass. I'd like to rebrand joke stealing as bit torrenting. So, just to kind of take a little bit of the sting off of it,
He did a Vlad TV episode recently where he talked about Joe Rogan stealing Brendan Schaub's jokes in his most recent special, and he's like, "See, it always comes around."
He's playing the long game.
He literally was like, "This is what I didn't want." He's like, "Now everyone's stealing." Do you have anything to promote? You guys got to check out Dan's special, dude. It's so funny, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah,
I love it. I love the amount of like you being like, teachers suck.
Yeah.
School sucks.
I'm just saying what we're all thinking.
Dude,
yeah.
and all the shots of the kids being like, there's one shot, you say something, I forgot what it was, and then it goes to this really hilarious kid that was like, he couldn't even comprehend what you were talking about.
I think that kid was 12 years old because the like casting guy was like, he was like, "Look, we got this kid. He's 12 years old, but his brother's 15." So, and I was like, "Yeah, don't let the 12-year-old come.
Yeah,
I think he's a little
yeah.
too young." He's like, "Look, they're a package deal. Nothing I could do." I was like,
you got 15, you got to get 12-year-old, all right? Yeah, so tell them, plug your motherfucking
yeah,
self.
please check out For the Boys on YouTube, my special, poured my heart and soul and all that shit. And it's pretty DTD. And also got a new podcast called Chicken PODMESAN out. It talks a lot about being Italian American, but it's not. But if you're not Italian American, you could definitely learn a thing or two. So check that out as well. And yeah, that's basically it.
It's about being Italian American?
A little bit.
I would never think. Hilarious. I got to check this out. And you're staying for the Patreon where we're going to answer
sticking
some
around.
questions.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you over there.
The Rap Jack Black and Sagdaddy, I'm back at it with a fantastic podcast for your asses. Yapping in a trap like a rescue cat, and the rescued up like they're waiting on the Batman. You tuned into the dude who threw booze back, blacked out, woke up drunk, covered in bruises. It's Sagdaddy the pod, an odd fellow, the great great white chubby, I'm becoming a marshmallow. It's Sagdaddy the pod, so sit back and relax, cause like a broken arm, I got a cast now. It's Sagdaddy the pod, you made a good choice, so enjoy, don't be annoyed, now here's my dumb voice. So recognizable, ski master, unreliable, diary of a guy who's higher than a freaking diving board. I'm tired, call me biting you as lame, cause you align with your wardrobe. Give that back, you ain't that guy, bro. Kaleidoscope stripping, goddamn I'm tripping, sipping shroom tea, looking at a blank television. Got a girl here gripping, thinking we'll do some business, but that's the last thing that I want. Seriously. Big dog, I'm on shirts now. Still scared that my house is gonna burn down. I'm a rare card, an old Charizard, getting BJ's on a bench of a promenade. Don't know what to do, I got a lot of problems, lot of emotional truths. I have menage them, I'm getting robbed every time I get a coffee, cause $6 is just too much.
Keep it on the low. We can keep it on the low. We can keep it on the low. But all you do is wrong.
Dream team, me and Galeen and the four Beatles, kidnapping whores illegally, pumping them full of needles, eating Chinese till Steven asks us to order a pizza. Walk the run to get it, I can't do either. It's Sagdaddy the pod, don't think twice, just bob your head, Dylan, your chicken with no rice. It's Sagdaddy the pod, and on God I won't stop unless I wanna, that's kinda the deal, huh? It's Sagdaddy the pod, no need to deviate, your ears are not the only holes that I'm about to penetrate. It's Sagdaddy the pod, so thanks for tuning in. Truman Show flow, if I don't see you, you can suck my dick.